From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now Foles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Throwing to start the drive. Fitzgerald hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Fitzgerald. Green with a catch left side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Allen gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. And here now is the Jaguars' all-time leading scorer in another uniform. He had over 1,000 points for the Jags, Josh Scobie. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome. It
really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Foles. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
First down, Jaguars.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. Foles. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point good by Prater. And the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 30-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On 2nd and 10, Foles.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17.
Let's get off the field,
Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fitzgerald. And Green with a catch left side. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
You got nothing. He's cracked.
Go. Shoot.
Now Joe Mixon. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant.
50.
5.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fitzgerald being chased out left. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 7.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun. Fitzgerald. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
50 the mic. 50 the mic. You must go.
Throwing on 1st down. Fitzgerald. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Avery Jones making his presence felt on the sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw on third down, Fitzgerald. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Josh Allen picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Looking to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
6-6, pull it high.
Danny.
Hey, lock it. Ready.
On first down, Fitzgerald. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's second down.
On the set.
44, Mike, 44. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Get it.
Off play action. Fitzgerald nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's now third down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Hit it.
A final shot before break. Fitzgerald. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's fourth down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, Charlie.
Operating from the gun. Fitzgerald. He's going to air it out deep for Green. It's caught at the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. When A.J. Green's on the field, something exciting usually happens, and that was certainly exciting.
Superior route runner, superior hands, superior body control, but I love the way he reacts to the football in the air. Finds it, locates it, and goes and gets it before the defensive backs can react.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now on second and 13. Foles. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Shark's got it left side. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Delta. Go on, go on.
Second and 2. Going for the deep ball. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. You got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Hey, Sam off. Go.
On 1st and 10, Fitzgerald. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. Fitzgerald. And the pressure gets to him again. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Check 50, check 50.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Mike spoke well. I'm on. Back. Bang, 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 bang.
Get.
From the gun, Fitzgerald. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
Hey,
Come on,
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Stepping up, he's going to keep it and avoids the contact by sliding. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let him know.
A run for Nick Chubb. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
First down, Jacksonville.
I'm coming after you.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. To throw on 2nd and 6. Foles. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poor. Early in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Oh, you got deep? Watch the
Throwing on 1st down. Fitzgerald, the connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Escaping the pressure right. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on 2nd down. Fitzgerald. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers in the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Back to Mixon on 1st down. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
Leon Jacobs brought him down. 2 yards
61, max box, right.
2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it?
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. And that one is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Packers. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said,
and my goodness, another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Let's go. Interception. All day, baby. Let's get this.
Intercepted. The Bengals take over 1st
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. The Bengals on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Switch, switch, switch. Shoot, shoot. Hatchet, hatchet. Get it.
Back to throw. Fitzgerald. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Bengals, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they dropped just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.